What's good, ladies and gentlemen? RFG is here today, and this is going to be a very profound, deep lecture. So I'm just going to get right into it. Okay, right here, it states that the Mayan underworld, the ancient civilization known as the Mayans, okay, their underworld was known as the Xibalba. Okay, it's actually, it says, is actually an incredible labyrinth of underground rivers in the Yucatan Peninsula. The Yucatan is otherwise devoid of rivers and lakes, but the Mayas believed that the underground freshwater pools that dotted the landscapes were sacred portals to the Mayan underworld. Okay, so what this article is basically referring to is how most ancient civilizations viewed this earth, okay, as an underworld. Okay, this whole world that we live on, the surface and inner earth, because technically speaking, sentient beings, living, breathing beings are supposed to be thriving in the inner earth, not on the outside of the planet's surface. Okay, I'm gonna be touching on that information in a later lecture. Okay, but this information given to you in this lecture is going to basically prove that this world we're living in is hell. The third dimension that we live in is hell. Okay, it is the underworld, plain and simple. Okay, when we look at this map right here, this is none other than a Stargate map across this world. These locations are areas of very high points of electromagnetic energy, which are portals for spiritual beings to come in and out of this third dimensional realm. Okay? One of the biggest ones, of course, is the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, right over here, south of Japan, we have the Devil's Triangle, otherwise known as the Dragon's Triangle. Okay, this is a huge grid line, a huge map of a huge grid line of stargates that are located on this planet. Okay, now we all know stargates are where areas where souls come in and out of in this dimension. So these Stargate locations are areas where electric force met up with a magnetic force going the other direction, and it created a spiral vortex. All these triangles that you see on this map, okay, are areas where the, large stargates are located, and the stargates are created by large waves of an electric force hitting large waves of a magnetic force. The magnetic force is the feminine force, and the electric force is the masculine force. Okay, hitting each other, which is forming a spiral vortex, which sends, spiritual life forms either in this dimension or outside of this dimension. Okay, that is what these spiritual gateways known as stargates were made for. Okay, like I said, okay, spiritual gateways in and out of this third dimension. They cannot be seen with the physical eye, okay, because they are made up of particles that are so small, nobody is able to see them with the naked eye. We are only able to feel them through vibration, through vibrational frequency. We cannot see a stargate with the physical eye. We can only feel them through vibrational frequency. Now, I'm going to teach a lot of people what spiritual warfare is all about. Okay, so obviously our government knows where all the spiritual stargates are located on this planet. This is what they did. This is what Satan does to counteract our ancestors. This is what Satan does to counteract that. We know where the gateways are to send new souls into this dimension and to send souls out of this dimensional realm. So the satanic government has placed special objects on each continent to harvest the souls coming in and out of this, of this dimension. This is also counteracting the Bermuda Triangle's energy, the Dragon Triangle's energy, and all these other Stargate locations' energy. What they did harnessed the energy of these triangles, these Stargate locations, and the government is doing this to harvest souls, okay? So right here, we have a whole bunch of black cubes, that are being, built and created in certain locations on each continent, okay? And they're not telling us why they're doing this. I'll tell you why. It's to harvest the souls coming in and out of these Stargate locations. That's why the areas where these black boxes are located are not too far off away from these Stargate locations. Right here we have the Stargate in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. And then we have the rings outside of the black box because the black boxes represent Saturn's energy. Saturn's energy, people. That is why these black boxes are being put at certain specific locations across this world. It is to block off the Stargate's energy across the world and to keep the souls locked down in a goddamn cube, just like the Hellraiser movie, ladies and gentlemen. These black cubes are the black cubes of Saturn. Okay? And what is Saturn known for? Saturn is known for harvesting souls and to keep us stuck in the cycle of reincarnation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? When it comes to our government harvesting our souls, it's all about Saturn's energy and Lucifer's energy, okay? The energy of Lucifer, the light bearer, the false light bearer, which is ruled by the planet Venus. So what's keeping us in this third dimensional paradigm is the electric waves coming from the planet Saturn, which are causing individuals to experience the aging process, and Venus, the planet Venus, which is associated with the deity known as Lucifer, which brings us the false light spectrum in this universe that we live in. It all goes back to the planet Saturn and the planet Venus. Okay? Also, I just learned something new. Lucifer is actually a feminine deity. That is why Venus is a feminine planet. Okay, I'll be touching into all of that information in a later lecture, but this is just going to be touching on proof that we live in a goddamn underworld. We live in a form of hell, and it is our duty to escape this reincarnation cycle of hell, to break out of that, to break the light prism, to break the light prism spectrum that we're stuck in, and to move on into 5-dimensional consciousness. Okay? We have to physically do this. This is a physical, mental, and spiritual process that we have to undertake to escape this third dimensional reality of reincarnation. Okay? So like I said, Saturn is Set in ancient Kemet. Lucifer is Venus, is the planet Venus, which rules the light spectrum in this universe. Saturn rules the electric waves that cause aging in our reality. So Saturn and Venus, Saturn and Lucifer, can be seen as Megatron and the Fallen One in the movie Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Okay? This third dimensional paradigm that we live in is, seen by looking at this cube, this box cube. Just like I showed you all of these black box cubes showing up all across the world to harness the souls from what? from the Stargate locations across this planet. Okay? This is how our government is harnessing our energy and our ancestors' energy. Okay? So Venus and Satan are basically Venus and Saturn, and they are personified by Megatron and the Fallen One in the Transformers movies saga. Right here, we have a chart showing 0D, which is coming back to 0 point, that Pluto energy, that atomic energy, that Pluto energy, that Phoenix energy coming back to 0 point. Then 1D is that straight line of energy coming from that 0 point, which gives you 1D, and 2D is the same 0 point, but is making a line around, a two-dimensional line around the same 0 point, which gives you a flat grid. Okay? The individuals who got sucked into the psyop fell victim to have their consciousness pulled back into 2D. You see what I'm saying? The flat grid, the flat motionless grid. You see? And you're getting stepped all over. You see? We're in this 3D where we have an inside, we have an inner space and an outer space. We have an inner space and an outer space in 3D. We have an inner space and an outer space. So in the reality that we live in, we have an inner space and we have an outer space. The people whose consciousness got sucked back into 2D, they don't believe in outer space because their consciousness fell back to 2D. They lost their concept of as above, so below. Okay? They completely lost their consciousness of as above, so below. If there is an inner space, you better believe that there is an outer space, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There's an as above, so below, and there is an as within, so without. If there is an inner space, there is an outer space. Here's 4D and here's 5D. So you have the full 5-dimensional grid, okay, dimensional grids shown on this picture right here. Okay, we have to move past 4D into 5-dimensional consciousness, which is a long way from a box, from a goddamn box. Okay, so right here, 3D is being personified as the box, as the cube. What is this? This is Metatron's cube, showing that our ancient ancestors saw the most basic particle of this universe, okay, and they named it Metatron's cube. 13 spherical light orbs interrotating around each other to form a cube of light. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a light particle at a subatomic level. It's called Metatron's cube. Okay? This is how this thing rotates. The 13 spherical light orbs rotate around each other, forming a light particle cube that is giving existence to the spectrum of vision in this universe. Okay? Humans see light in this universe, okay? We see in the light spectrum. We don't see in the heat spectrum. We don't see in any other spectrum but light, okay? And this is how the light spectrum is controlled. It goes back to the subatomic level of Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube is the smallest particle of light in this known universe. And this is how it rotates, ladies and gentlemen. This is sacred geometry from our ancient ancestors. They knew how to break out of this light prism that we're in, because the 13 light orbs around this cube are holding a form of energy and are holding a piece of our soul, ladies and gentlemen. A piece of our soul is basically trapped inside of this light spectrum. This light at a subatomic level is encasing a piece of our soul. Okay? And we have to break out of this by Merkaba activation. There's no other way to do this. Otherwise, we're going to stay stuck in the cycle of reincarnation, moving into new bodies and new bodies and new bodies without any knowledge of who we were in the past life. And I'm going to prove to you that reincarnation was goddamn spiritual failure. It was spiritual failure, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so right here, we have Metatron's cube, which is the smallest form of a light particle, a particle of light in this universe. This was personified as Megatron's cube. Okay, we saw Metatron's cube. According to our ancestors, this is why Hollywood got together and created Megatron's cube, because Metatron was Lucifer. And so Megatron, if Metatron is Lucifer, so does Megatron. Megatron has to be Lucifer as well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So Saturn, the individual who is controlling the time matrix, okay, the fallen one in this Transformer series, the fallen one in this Transformer series had to be Saturn. Saturn, the fallen star, Lord of the Rings, the fallen one, Sirius D. Saturn was Sirius D. There was 3 Sirius stars that were the original stars that were birthed out of this galaxy. The 4th one, okay, was Sirius D, which was the fallen one, the one who rebelled, the fallen one, and who was bound by its own goddamn ice ring. Okay? This is who the fallen one represents in that Transformers movie. He was looking for the Matrix. Wasn't the fallen one looking for the matrix of leadership? The matrix of leadership in the movie Transformers Revenge of the Fallen? Wasn't Megatron trying to get control of the goddamn cube? The cube? Because, ladies and gentlemen, Megatron right here is none other than Lucifer. Lucifer, who is in control of the light spectrum. And what is the light spectrum, ladies and gentlemen? What is the light spectrum? It goes back to Metatron's cube with the 13 light orbs, spherical light orbs orbiting around each other to form a cube, an illusion of a cube. Okay? This is why Megatron was looking for the cube, the all-spark cube in Transformers. Okay? Lucifer, the controller and the manipulator and the ruler of the light spectrum in this universe, ruled by the planet Venus. Okay? Also personified as Megatron in Transformers. Saturn, also known as Set in ancient Kemetic spirituality. Saturn is also known as Satan, the keeper of time and the keeper of this reincarnation matrix, okay, that we are all sucked into, okay? We are sucked into the time matrix, okay, that is powered by this Saturn planet, by this planet known as Saturn, okay, which is known as the fallen one, the fallen star. Saturn was a fallen star that fell into a gas planet and was bound by its ring. That is why the fallen one in Transformers is personified as Saturn. So right here we have Venus and Saturn trying to take control of the goddamn universe and trying to keep the people of the universe, of the world, sucked in to this 3D goddamn cube prism. They call it think about it, people. They call it a prism because it's really a goddamn prison for your souls. Wake the hell up. Metatron's cube is Megatron's cube. Plain and simple. goddamn Lucifer's false light cube. This is light on a microscopic level, ladies and gentlemen. This is light. This is the light spectrum particles on a subatomic level. So if we zoom in onto one of these spheres, this is what we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see goddamn Metatron's cube, and we're going to see it rotating just like this. Okay? I just showed you what these particles look like on a subatomic level. These are light particles, okay, which are really cubes. They're really cubes when you look at them on a subatomic level. As above, so below. The basic creation of this universe goes back to spherical neutrinos and spherical atoms forming spherical molecules. Also, the spherical light orbs that form the cube of the light spectrum. So, as above, so below, the most smallest particles in our universe are spherical and cube-shaped. So, on a grand scale, our universe is going to be a spheroid cube. It's going to be a goddamn spheroid cube. As above, so below. Okay? As above, so below. This is basically looking on the outside, looking in. When we're talking about the third dimensional universe, it's actually a spheroid cube. Okay? Going back to Metatron's cube, which is really Megatron's cube. Okay? And this is why they built all these goddamn cubes across the world to harness the energy of our ancestors coming from the stargates. This is why our government has the goddamn stargate locations mapped out on the earth we live on. Time to wake up, people. Time to wake up. They're counteracting our ancestors' pyramid energy, our ancestors' triangle energy, triangle, okay? The triangle of Ale, where you have the electric current, which is masculine, meeting up with the magnetic current, which is feminine, creating spiritual life, spiritual portals, spiritual gateways for spiritual deities to get in and out of this dimension. Okay? That's what these Stargate locations are. They're spiritual electromagnetic vortexes, and our government is blocking it off with goddamn the black cubes across the earth, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? As above, so below. These cubes also represent the universe. Now, I'm getting ready to completely destroy this whole doctrine of individuals saying that this world we live in is some kind of heaven and reincarnation is some kind of achievement. Okay, when we go back to ancient Kemet and we study Anubis, okay, Anubis weighed your heart on a scale after you were deceased and after your soul went into inner earth. Your soul met Anubis. So your soul, okay, was put forth in front of the Lord of the underworld, Anubis, and he weighed your heart chakra on a scale. And then he had the feather of Ma'at on the other scale. And if your heart weighed more than the feather of Ma'at, and you had a heavy heart because you were sucked in to too much goddamn materialism in this goddamn third dimensional box, you couldn't let shit go in this third dimensional box because you love this third dimensional box and you love this earthly material realm so much, and you love the money so goddamn much that it actually weighed your heart chakra down on Anubis' scale. And ladies and gentlemen, what happened after your heart was too goddamn heavy to move on to the afterlife? Ladies and gentlemen, let's look and see what's behind Anubis. Right here, we have a deity that is mixed with a crocodile and an alligator. A crocodile and a lion. This deity is mixed with a hippo, a crocodile, and a lion. And it is known, this deity right here is known as Amit, okay? Because when you meet Amit, you might as well say, God damn it. You might as well say, God damn it. I have to meet Amit because my heart was too goddamn heavy. I can't go on to the afterlife. And now I have to be consumed by the god Amit, the demon Amit. Okay, who is Amit? Amit was a female demon in ancient Egyptian religion with a body part of a lion, hippopotamus, and a crocodile. Okay, the three largest man-eating animals known to ancient Egyptians. Funerary deity. Her titles included the devourer of the dead, the devourer of the dead, the eater of the hearts, the devourer of the dead, the devourer of the dead. Amit lived near the scales of justice in Duat, the Egyptian underworld. In the Hall of Two Truths, Anubis weighed the heart of a person against the feather of Maat, the goddess of truth, which was depicted as an ostrich feather. The feather was often pictured as Maat's headdress. If the heart was judged to be not pure, Amit would devour it, and the person undergoing judgment was not allowed to continue their voyage towards who? Towards Osiris and immortality. Uh-oh. Towards what? Towards what? Towards Osiris. And what is Osiris? Osiris is the Orion star constellation and the Sirius star constellation. So when you mix the word Orion and Sirius, you get Osiris. So the individuals weren't able to hit the goddamn Stargate to travel through the center of the Milky Way to reach that fifth dimension. They were consumed by none other than the god Amit. Okay? When you say, God damn it, you have to meet Amit because your soul is damned. Your soul is damned up. Okay? Your heart is weighed on that scale. And if it's too heavy, you go and meet the soul eater who eats your goddamn soul. You get consumed instead of reaching the afterlife with your other ancestors. Okay? Once Amit swallowed the heart, the soul was believed to become restless forever. Woo! That means that you become a soul, you become a restless soul, you become a ghost in this third dimensional realm. That means you have to become a parasite and haunt other deities in this third dimension. That's what that means. That's what the definition of a restless soul is. That means your soul doesn't even go into another goddamn body. That means your soul is stuck in goddamn purgatory like the goddamn movie called Ghost. Go look it up. Okay? It was also called To Die a Second Time. Woo! And you got all these motherfuckers calling themselves gods, talking about there's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no reincarnation. It's right here on the walls of Kemet, ladies and gentlemen. In some traditions, untrustworthy hearts were cast into the fiery lake to be destroyed. Some scholars believe Amit and the lake represent the same conception of destruction. Woo! What happened, people? What happened to, we're all gods and we're going to create our own reality and reincarnation is success and, there is no God and there is no devil. What the hell happened to that? Okay? You know why it got looked over by so many people? Because people fail to read and they fail to realize what's simple and what's right in front of their damn face. So ladies and gentlemen, like I just said, okay, this box that I'm talking about, that is being put across the planet, it's the same as the goddamn Hellraiser cube. It's the harnessed souls. It's the harnessed souls, people. Just like the Hellraiser movie. There's too many signs that prove what I'm saying. Okay? This third dimensional realm is a goddamn cube. If you don't believe me, go look up Metatron's cube. Go look up Metatron's cube. That is personified by Megatron's cube in Transformers. Okay? It is what is harnessing our soul in this third dimension. And, you know, to prove that reincarnation is not the soul's goal, right here in this article, it states that the souls had to get to Osiris to achieve immortality, which is the Orion and the Sirius star constellation. Just look up Amit, the god Amit, for yourself. Okay? When you failed and your heart was too heavy, you were ate up. You were consumed. That's funny. You were ate. You were ate up when your heart was too heavy. You were ate in a goddamn reincarnation cycle 8, in a figure 8 that is never ending for tens of thousands of years, going through reincarnation cycles on the same goddamn planet because your soul failed. Reincarnate, regenerate, rehydrate, reprogram, okay? Repeat, re-education, remedial, retarded, RE, because you're getting ate up because your heart is too heavy. You're getting ate up by the god Amit. God damn it, you're getting ate up by Amit. Amit ate you. You're stuck in the 8 cycle of reincarnation, and all I'm trying to do is break out of these chains, break out of these shackles, break out of these 8 handcuffs, the spiritual cycle of the 8, break out of the handcuffs so you hit your spiritual 9 when you break out of the 8. The 9 is the spiritual handcuffs being broken out of, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because I was born on 729. When you add those numbers, it gives you 9. Okay? When you add all those numerals, it gets you 9. I'm trying to break you out of the 8 so we can spiral up in the supernova stargate and ascend on into this 5th dimension, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone who supported RFG movement and Lantian movement. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.